Alright, this is Mercedes. I'm going to be doing this VoD review of the last map here. Um, and let's see what went wrong for the losing team here, which uh, I expected to win. However, I think that what we'll see here is that the Shershoi was able to make, and that team was able to make the better swaps when necessary to win the maps. So that's what we're going to be looking at here. I can full screen this. Just as like a pre-warning here, I might be getting kicked out of the room that I am in because I'm supposed to be out of here already, but I need to get this done, and I only have the recording on this computer. This is my esports room, so here we go. Let's just jump right into it. So hopefully that does not happen. All right. So this we see here. So what's going to happen is this team's going to win the first fight. The my screen, the blue team. Let's see how that happens and why that happens. Right. Okay, so there's a huge purple there by Ultraviolet, which is a huge thing, a huge play. If that happens against goats, you're usually going to win the fight. However, most important here to recognize is that this team is running Zin, this team is running Anna. So this team should win in from what I understand about the game. Like if Zenyatta gets the Discord, then this team should win. Because Zenyatta can force the Zarya bubbles with Discord, and then at that point you win. Or the Zarya doesn't bubble for the Discord, and then at that point you should win. There should be no way that they can out heal the damage that you can do with a Zenyatta through here. Um, that's basically the win condition for this team. Kill Shurshui, the main tank. Main tank is most important here. With your Zenyatta Discord. This is most effective way to win this game. And that's what they need to accomplish here. Alright. So that's what's gonna happen. So this team here is going to have the Gravazon. Cersei's gonna get a really good eat on it. That's very important. Then overall this team's just gonna have better ultimate usage here. See, so the Grav gets eaten. Um, then they beat and go in. Should just be one right here. There should be no more ultimates used by this team to have the optimal ult eco here. I believe that's what happens. This team should have plenty of armor, which is what you're going to need to win going forward. It's all about the economy, right? This is really good by Sox. Doesn't use his Brig ult there in a lost fight. Same by Scott. Um, but this doesn't leave them much to capture against what they have. Uh, you maybe take an Ultico fight if you're these guys, right? Because that's the most important thing for goats is Ultico. Maybe you take an Ultico fight, you go in, try and get what you can out, save your Brig ult, use what you can here. You can't use these at the same time, build up armor. So you're committing to win this fight, right? But you don't have the tools. There shouldn't be a fight taken there. If you don't take the fight there, you probably win the map because you have 57%. You only need to capture once and have one defense. So and that last defense would be pretty sloppy because there's not going to be much coming from these guys. And they should use their tools here to defend because you really don't get more than one fight um, when you come back to retake. So all ults were used here. Ultico is pretty much not in their favor. They have to win this fight. Once you've committed ults on any retake at this point, you're going to lose because the fights are going to last too long. Leffa gets the kill to Shershoi, which is the win condition for this team. This team switched to Zin, so now it's pretty back and forth. You know, right? Both teams have the same win condition overall, which is defeat the enemy team's Reinhardt. Once you do that, you're in the driver's seat. You just heal your Reinhardt up, pocket him, he goes down. So that's what we're doing here. So we continue to move forward in this. That's what you're going to see from this team, the blue team. They have better ultico. They match this, up 30% on this. So if they take a fight early, they win, basically. Um, this team is going to have support ults are in the advantage over here because Lucio's close. Oh, Ultraviolet gets a lot of damage up. That's pretty big. Um, okay. Do they to win the retake here? So this is a big retake. I don't think this team took the fight quick enough. If this team takes the fight quicker, they have the ult advantage, right? And then they're able to if they use those ultimates, they're able to win. That's what's optimal. All right, so if we see what's going on next, this team just has to retake once and they win. Hopefully that's what happens here. These things are backwards. They're like wonky, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is like this is pretty wonky. All right. Sorry. Someone was I think the security's coming. Anyway, let's see if I can keep going. Here we go. We're going to see this team come in. How do they overcome this old deficit, right? This team has to be making a mistake here to lose this. Has to be. Has to be. Hopefully this team gets a big shatter. If they do that, they win. They engage with Diva Bomb. Shoshui's that's huge right there. That's killing the Brigida. It basically means Shoshui's not going to get to use his shatter that he's building up already. That's a lot. That's a really good job. You just can't have people get picked like that, in my opinion. With ultimate uses used by this team, you can't die there. Um, in goats, you have to be able to survive that. Probably they need just a bigger value in Transcendence here. That's probably their key to winning. Um, but then they also need to have their Brig alive. The Brig needs to be alive to help the Reinhardt get more effective swings in. But at the same time, if your Zarya is alive this long, you should be able to get kills. Zarya is still alive. Your Zarya should be dealing damage really big. So I think that's an issue for these guys. Overall, this team's just playing better. I think they make a few mistakes there. Mm, this team played better there, right? But there's these players here I think are playing really well for themselves. But it's interesting. All right, let's see here. So right here, we gotta just speed ahead. I don't mean to cut this short, but I gotta go as quickly as possible here because I am going to get kicked out of this room. Um, all right, so both teams are gonna be running Orisa. This team is at the disadvantage. Ashe is not as good as Hanzo here, objectively speaking, mathematically speaking. You need to focus shield and you need to kill Orisa. That should be your objective here. Killing the main tank is key. If you kill the Orisa, your team will win. Um, Bird is going to just not do the good things here. This is he should be playing with his team on this left side. He doesn't need to move, just doesn't have to. This basically puts him in the line of sight of Widow. He can no longer damage shield. This is the biggest mistake that's made here. But now other people are going this way, and that's just not good. That's just bad rotating. Um, with their comp, they're able to take control of the point quicker and identify that that's the most important thing for them right here, quick enough. Um, so one of the things that I want to talk about here is like the comps. So if they're running on Orisa and they've captured first, which they do here, right? It's most important that this team switches to a comp that can actually retake. Um, whether that be like a dive comp with a couple double sniper, I think that's pretty good because you're able to focus shield, use your tanks to create space, and then win. You could run. I don't think that's optimal. I think that probably Sombra Doomfist or like they don't have a. I would run like Doomfist Genji if you could. That would probably be best. Sun on Genji, left on Doomfist, and then run a Winston Diva. I think that would be really really good. Um, I don't know. Like I don't know. Maybe run if you can run a you can run a Lucio if you have a Winston Diva. You cannot run a Lucio if you have an Orisa. So that's okay. But like this is just disadvantageous. You get the pick, but you can't capitalize on it, right? You could run the Widow Genji or Widow Doomfist. That would be good. Um, but it's all about being able to take space and capitalize. You cannot do that if they're on Orisa and they just get to sit where they want to sit. They're also just gonna have every advantage in the book right there on defense, and they have the Hanzo, so they have more damage output than the Ashe Widow does. Also, I don't agree with who's on which character here, but that is what it is. Um, so the switch shipments here, they should be able to retake. They have the advantage in comps here. Um, interesting choice to go dive goats. Uh, I mean, it's good here. It's a good retake, but you have to keep in mind having to defend 100%. How are you going to do that? You need a lot of instant win combinations. So, like, I think that you need to have divers, things like that. I think those are very important. Um, So, that's what we're looking at here. Like they retake, right? Because that's what you should have happen here. But this is not great ults. They won that fight really quickly, which is fine. But they need ults to win this next fight. Um, and if they don't have ults, they need to take a fight with a lot of delay. They need to stall the fight as long as possible before an actual fight breaks out where the other team can commit. So that's their win condition. Stall a fight out. Don't let a fight happen immediately. Get ultimates, then look to fight. This team here needs to take a fight quick, right? If they can take a fight quick and decisively, they might be able to catch these people without ults. And if they take it quick, and if they survive long enough at all, then they'll be able to get these people to use ultimates quickly. That's absolute worst case scenario. Absolute worst case scenario. They did exactly what they need to do. Worst case scenario for these people is they the team that was defending the defenders. Worst case scenario for them is losing someone early before they're able to stall out for ults. So these people are at the disadvantage here. All around disadvantage here. They're able to stall for a pretty decent amount of time, actually. Bird gets a huge pick onto their Zen. That's terrible overextending by Scott. His team needs to be there with him, or they need to be back ready to handle anyone coming in. Scott's probably in the right place, but his team needs to be with him. If his team's not there with him, it's not the right place. Um, so that's really good. But I think I would wait on the EMP, make sure I get uh, the Doomfist. The Doomfist is going to have a lot of value here, or at least get a DMAC on the Diva or an instant kill on the main tank. But none of those things happened, so that's not optimal. Um, this to win this fight, they flipped the point. That's really good, right? But to win this fight, they have to play very safely, which they try to do here. But what's necessary here is that they don't die to Doomfist and they don't take too many discords, right? This isn't the place to take this fight. Maybe they go aggressive. I'm not sure exactly what the answer is. They're at a huge disadvantage here. They have to get a good graph, that's for sure. Have to get a good grab. You know what? I think this isn't the best grab in this situation. I think you have to stall longer, waiting for a good grab. So I think the grab is the key there. I would go for a more aggressive grab play, but be more patient. Wait for this other team. Try and get out some ultimates. Like right here, you killed the Zen, right? Maybe you get a better grab at that point if you're alive. And if you're alive, your team can just play around defending you. You do have 3 supports, or not 3 supports anymore, but you do have the ability to stay alive. You can just hang out back here. Your team can get value on the point stalling. You can just stall slowly and then get a good ultimate. Just an idea there. But that's what has to happen there to win. Have to have a good grab and have to be, I think, more aggressive. I don't think being passive is the play there. Um, I wish I'd have more time to watch this so that I could be more decisive on what I'm saying. But we're just kind of going with what we see here. This is going to go quick here. These people get rolled. This is a really tough one. I think this is like probably the hardest point to play in the game because you have to make the decision. Do you want to do you have to make the decision? Do you want to match the goats? Because one team's going to be on goats. Do you want to match goats and play goats versus goats with them? They run the maze. Maybe you run a Reaper. I don't like the Moira pick, but they win. Moira could be valuable here because of the small rooms. I can see that. That's Cersei's or Left's responsibility at that point. He can't get demeched. He has to eat the balls. That's really good by Shershoi. That's a huge, huge thing. If Diva is not there, Moira is incredible. She can do so much healing. You cannot kill through it. Um, Bird could get a huge anti that could counter this healing, and then you could kill. But that's tough. That's a tough task. But they don't have a diva, so that Bird has to get a good anti. You have to have Leffa and Mech. Bird has to get a good anti. That is how you win this. And if you're this team, you basically handled it perfectly. Shershoi was able to demech Leffa, exactly what you want. Leffa's demeched again. You do not need to be demeched all the time. That's really bad. Honestly, Cersei should be on Diva. He wins you all the time. I know Cersei's pocket pick is May, and he's a really good May, but he's got to be on the diva. He has to be on the diva. He has to get the value. He has to survive, and that's what he's really good at. Um, so that's really just not good by Leffa, but maybe he's uncomfortable on those picks. Bird has to get good nades. Let's see if that happens on the retake. You have Shatter, you have Beat. You don't have much to retake this with. If you take a dry fight here, you can't take a dry fight. You have to cap it. Otherwise, you have basically one more retake because of how long the fights are going to take, goats versus goats. So do you make the decision at that point to switch to a spam after the first lost fight? I don't think you do because you do have a comp that can win. Like you can win with this comp, right? You know if you play correctly you can win. You have I think you have the advantage here with this comp. Actually, I think you do. They don't have a diva, so your Ana is free reign to heal. More healing than Moira. You have a diva, so that should negate the Moira's healing. You have your Mei against their Mei. You feel like your Mei is better, right? Because your Mei is super comfortable. That's pocket pick Mei, right? So you should feel comfortable with this, but you're just not playing correctly. You're not executing well. You're not being clean. Those are issues. So and that's ultimately the issue here is not recognizing what's important. Leffa doesn't recognize that his mech is important. Mm, I'm not sure Cersei is playing this Mei the way you would want to play this Mei in this team environment, right? Because normally you use Mei to abuse the fact that the other team doesn't have the ability to handle that. Bird, is he playing quickly? Does he need to use more space? Is he communicating quickly? We don't know that. Um, so those are the most important things, you know. Um, and ultimately, like, that just shouldn't happen. You shouldn't lose that badly there. You have a comp that definitely has distinct advantages, especially on first fight. Um, I really wish that I could go into more detail about what I'm doing here. This is rushed because I am getting kicked out. And but yeah, that's just a quick evaluation of what I saw there. I tried to get out as much information as I could. If I did a more in-depth review of a fight and a map, then I would have done that. I also really wanted to do like an in-depth, like what I would do with players, to improve this particular player and create a path for improvement. But I just cannot do that at this time. I'd have to evaluate the whole VoD and look it back over, and I only had 2 hours. So I'm reviewing the VoD that I have there, in that fight, and that's what we have there. I believe that is why the team that we believed would win didn't win, is they didn't play to what they needed to play to. They didn't make the plays they needed to make. They didn't swap, and ultimately, those are the most important things. So thank you for watching, and thank you for this opportunity.